Hey everyone, welcome back into the channel. And today we're back with a brand new video. For over 180 years, one name has been the go-to for any Christmas grump: Ebenezer Scrooge. Charles Dickens' legendary miser has been brought to life on screen more times than almost any character in literary history. He's evolved from silent films and radio plays to huge animated spectacles and modern blockbusters. Dozens of actors have put on the nightcap and the scowl, each giving their own unique spin on his journey from darkness into light. But who really nailed the transformation? Who went beyond a simple bah humbug to show us the cold, hollow heart of a man eaten by greed, and then the explosive, almost childlike joy of being saved? This isn't just a list of famous actors. This is a cinematic battle for the ages. We've looked at the emotional depth, the power of the transformation, and the specific choices that made these performances iconic. And today, we're pitting the greatest Scrooge actors head to head to crown the one true king of Christmas curmudgeons. Before we get into that, let's start a showdown in the comments. Let me know right now, who do you think is the greatest Scrooge of all time? Lock in your answers, and let's see if your pick makes our list. With so many adaptations out there, it was tough to narrow it down. A few incredible performances just missed our final cut, but absolutely deserve a shout out for what they brought to the role. There's the wildly theatrical energy Tim Curry gave to the 1997 animated version, chewing through every line with a memorable villainous flair. And we have to acknowledge one of the first actors to really define the role on screen, Seymour Hicks. In the 1930 adaptation, Hicks gave us a Scrooge who wasn't just mean, but he was weak and pathetic as well, which added a layer of tragic complexity that was way ahead of its time. These actors and so many prove there's no single way to be Scrooge, but today we're looking for the absolute best of the best. So kicking off our list is the only modern day Scrooge to make the cut. Bill Murray isn't technically playing Ebenezer, but Frank Cross, a cynical, power-hungry TV executive. Scrooge brings the story into the 80s with a sharp, satirical bite, and Murray is the perfect man for the job. He goes all in on the character's awfulness, firing an employee on Christmas Eve and snatching taxis from old ladies. His performance is built on dark humor and a manic energy, giving us a hilarious and uniquely 80s version of the story. It's not a traditional portrayal, but it's definitely an unforgettable one. In Disney's motion capture animated film, Jim Carrey pulls off a huge feat, voicing not only Scrooge, but also the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. Carrey is famous for his over-the-top comedic style, and he brings plenty of that here with wild yells and screams. But underneath the mania, he gives a surprisingly sincere and detailed performance. The animation creates a look that is maybe the most faithful to the book's original illustrations, even if the uncanny valley effect was a little creepy for some viewers. Carrey manages to capture both the grotesque caricature and the fragile man hiding inside. Sir Patrick Stewart brings a special kind of intensity to the role. Known for his powerful stage presence, Stewart's Scrooge is dramatic, serious, and deeply intense. He famously performed a one-man stage version of A Christmas Carol where he played over 40 characters, so he knows the material inside and out. His portrayal is a clinic in subtlety. He's blunt, bitter, and painfully insecure, but he never tips into melodrama. This version leans into the darker parts of the story, and Stewart's performance is gripping, showing a man who doesn't just need to be saved, but who genuinely believes he's too far gone to deserve it. Putting Michael Caine this high might seem controversial, but his performance is a true acting masterclass. Surrounded by a cast of felt puppets, Caine made a game-changing decision. He would play the role completely straight, as if he were performing with the Royal Shakespeare Company. He never winks at the audience, he never hints at the absurdity of sharing a screen with a frog and a pig. That commitment is what makes his Scrooge so brilliant. He delivers one of the most grounded, sincere, and emotionally real portrayals ever filmed. The heartbreak in his eyes as he watches his love walk away, the quiet devastation as he sees the Cratchits mourning Tiny Tim, these moments hit hard because he plays them with total sincerity. Caine is menacing, heartbreaking, and ultimately joyful, proving that a phenomenal performance can shine even when your co-stars are Muppets. All right, we're about to break into the top 4, and the competition is getting intense. And if you're enjoying this Scrooge showdown, do me a solid and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out on more fun videos to come. Now, let's get to the heavy hitters. For a lot of classic film buffs, Reginald Owen is the face of Scrooge from Hollywood's golden age. His version is traditional and straight to the point, creating the kind of stern, no-nonsense miser that became a movie archetype. While some critics felt his performance was a bit too bouncy and his aged-up makeup wasn't totally convincing, you can't deny his impact. Owen delivered a classic, stern attitude that defined Scrooge for a generation and remains a huge early screen interpretation of the character. If there was ever an actor born to play a stubborn, powerful Scrooge, it was George C. Scott. Famous for his intimidating screen presence, Scott brings a tough, physical energy to the role. This isn't a weak, withered miser. This is a man hardened by anger and protected by his wealth. Critics have called his portrayal one of the most definitive and powerful. And what makes Scott's performance so amazing is how gradual and believable his transformation is. He fights the spirits every step of the way, arguing with them using a bitter logic that makes his eventual breakdown even more incredible. When his redemption finally arrives, it's not just a change of heart, it's a total collapse of his old self, followed by a truly joyful, almost manic rebirth. It's a powerhouse performance from a legendary actor. Taking on Scrooge in a full-blown musical is a massive challenge, but Albert Finney was more than ready. He was only 34, but was convincingly aged up for the part, while still being young enough to play Scrooge in his own flashback scenes. Finney's performance is incredible for its sheer emotional range. He snarls his way through songs like I Hate People with a joyful nastiness, but also beautifully shows Scrooge's vulnerability and, finally, his explosive happiness. His ability to carry the story's emotional core while performing huge musical numbers is amazing. The film even got 4 Oscar nominations, which speaks to its quality and Finney's amazing central performance. There can only be one. And for decades, one performance has been praised by critics and audiences as the gold standard, the definitive portrayal that all others are judged against. The crown for the ultimate Scrooge belongs to Alastair Sim. Sim's 1951 performance is an absolute masterclass in complexity. Mostly known for comedy at the time, he brought a sharp wit and subtle humor to Scrooge's miserly phase that made him more than just a monster. His Scrooge is sarcastic, quietly menacing, and deeply wounded. The film also expands on Dickens' backstory, showing us an ambitious young man corrupted by a cynical mentor, which adds a tragic layer to his downfall. But it's Sim's transformation that locks him in at number 1. The absolute terror you see on his face when he's confronted by the spirits is real. You're watching a man completely unravel. He doesn't just see his mistakes, he is shattered by them. His plea to the ghost of Christmas yet to come that he's too old to change feels devastatingly real. And then, the mourning. No actor has ever captured the giddy, unhinged joy of redemption like Alastair Sim. He's not just happy, he's reborn. The way he stands on his head, the delighted squeal in his voice, the frantic energy as he rushes to make things right. It's pure, unfiltered bliss. Sim's performance is a symphony of emotions, going from quiet bitterness to absolute terror to ecstatic joy, all with incredible subtlety. He is terrifying, he is pitiful, he is hilarious, and in the end, he is profoundly human. And for all that, Alastair Sim is, and will likely always be, the greatest Scrooge of all time. So there you have it, our definitive ranking of the greatest Scrooges to ever hit the screen. From Bill Murray's modern cynicism to Alastair Sim's timeless transformation, each of these actors brought something unforgettable to this legendary character. But now the showdown is all yours. Do you agree with our number 1? Was your favorite left off the list? Head down to the comments and post your own top 3 Scrooges. Let the debate rage on. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you in the next video.